Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It's Friday, June 13th. That's right. We made it to Friday. We made it to the end of the week. We made it to the end of Steelers mandatory minicamp, and in fact, the end of the entire spring football season as the Pittsburgh Steelers completed 3 weeks of practice at UPMC Rudy Sports Complex, 2 weeks of OTAs, which were voluntary, 1 week of mandatory minicamp. And the big story through all of that was Aaron Rodgers, not there for the first 2 weeks, signs his contract, reports to minicamp, and takes part in practice the last 3 days with his teammates. Of course, what everybody wants to know, and every question I keep getting asked is, how does Aaron Rodgers look? Well, it's an awfully hard question to answer. He didn't do very much over the 3 days of minicamp. You can't make a fair comparison between him and the other quarterbacks who are out there in team periods, who are facing a defense, who are, running a formation, running a huddle. He's just throwing the ball. But, man, he looks good throwing the ball. It is not an absolute, thing that we can't learn anything from just because he didn't take any team periods. He doesn't look like a 41-year-old when the ball comes out of his hand. In fact, him throwing the ball is as impressive, even at 41, as anything I've seen in a Pittsburgh Steelers practice setting since Ben Roethlisberger's arm was still all in one piece. He has an incredibly effortless velocity. His hips are very fluid. He gets a ton on the ball, even when he looks like he's not trying that hard. It kind of gives you the impression that if he wanted to, he could throw it even harder. Throwing the ball hard is not going to be a magical success story for Aaron Rodgers in 2025. Obviously, he could still throw the ball hard last year. Things didn't go well for the New York Jets. But I do think it is important to note that he's, even at 41, showing up in a condition that looks like he's going to be able to be physically good enough for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. He's moving with his legs well, too. He had that Achilles last year. When you watch some of the Jets tape from last season, it's not, there's some wonky movements in the pocket. It looks fluid out there to me, running around with his teammates. There's some videos up on the YouTube channel of him, stretching and flexing, and he looks like a normal player. He doesn't look like someone who is 20 years older than some of his teammates. So I think we talked a lot, me and Smitty, on the afternoon drive and here on this show, about Rodgers kind of winning the locker room and saying all the right things. I think he did that this week. I think he looks good physically as well, and I think that's probably just as important when you're talking about a player of his age. Now, things will start to matter a lot more when we get some live reps, when we get into training camp, that kind of thing. But I think a really positive first 3 days in the Pittsburgh Steelers uniform for Aaron Rodgers this week. I'm excited to see what happens next for the old gunslinger. All right, that's it for this morning quick show. We've got, make sure, by the way, stop whatever you're doing at this moment. PGH on whatever your favorite social media platform is, and pester him about it being his birthday. And we will do that. I will do that on the afternoon drive at 6 o'clock. That's it for now. Till then, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and enjoy.